Good day everybody, I'm Dr. T. Welcome to my sharing. In previous video, part 1, I have shared the common mistakes demonstrated by students. Today, I will share my experience on managing a long document with MsWord and Mendeley. Part 2. My usual practice working in MsWord for long documents such as thesis, report, book chapter, etc. etc. Most of the techniques are suitable for paper writing for conference or journals or reports as well. Before we begin, I would like to have a quick review on a long document. This is my thesis. Pay attention to setup in MsWord. A long document would look like this. About 195 pages. Consider a long document. The page number is shown here. Normally, I will switch into navigation pane by clicking View Navigation. A list of heading and subheading are listed in the left pane. It is useful to organize the document structure and click and jump into any heading. For example, I could click in any heading and the document will be shown on the right. This is good for organize and manage the documents. As you would notice, the document has 3 divisions. That is the cover page, the informative pages, and the main text. This is the cover page. You can see the cover page, and this is the information page up to list of table, and this is the area of the main text from chapter 1 to the end of the chapter 7, the main text. The cover page carry the document title, author name, institute and date, no page number. The informative pages display brief idea about the document in the form of abstracts, acknowledgements, table of contents, table of figures, and others. Page number style is set up as top right corner, Roman style, start a new page. That is 1 in Roman style, as you could see here, as I enlarge it. Right. The main text consists most of the page in the document. For a thesis, there are chapter 1, 2, 3, and others. The setup are style normal for the paragraph, font spacing, tab spacing, and others. Heading and subheadings for listing of main topics and subtopics. Caption for all figures, tables, and equation, for example. The page number, the paragraph setting, and the headings. Next, we shall work out an example from scratch. This is the document we want to work out today. Again, I emphasize that a well-planned document should have several divisions as mentioned earlier. The cover page, the informative page, the main text. A good practice is to conduct initial setup before any document is prepared. Normally, I will make sure the page format is set up according to guideline. If no guideline is provided, I will set it into A4 size. All margins are set to 2.54, which is the default margin setup. Page orientation is portrait. For a thesis, it is normally to set the left margin to 4 cm. Next, 3 divisions for the document is set up. The page cover, the informative pages, and the main text by using page break, or more precisely the section break. The page break is useful to isolate between two pages or sections. This move is essential to create different page number style in the informative pages and the main text area. In the main text area, styles are used. Styles are used to define the ways and the document is formatted and organized. Next, I will demonstrate how a figure is inserted and being captioned. Further, the same figure number is cross-referenced in the main text. MsWord would automatically trace the number and update them if any changes is made. Once the heading and the subheading are organized properly, it is ready to create and list out the document in the informative pages as table of contents. A common mistake is to insert numerous high-definition photos as it is in MsWord. Those photos could carry 1 megabyte or 10 megabyte per picture. Furthermore, I would demonstrate compressing pictures into lower size. Next, I would demonstrate how I rectify the format difference due to copy and paste. Let's do it. This is the document that we are going to work out, similar to this. I have clicked and enabled the paragraph mark, which is this one. Paragraph mark is useful to identify the location of the paragraph. As I hide it, I can hide it, right, and I can show it again by clicking it again. Let's create a new document, and we are going to create almost the same one. Create news and a blank document. Enlarge it. Firstly, I will check on view. Navigation is being clicked because this is a good practice to organize the structure of a document. I try to make it smaller. First, I'll check the page size, margin and orientations. The page size A4, the margin, (2.54 centimeter) at all sides. Of course, for a thesis, we might want to set left as 4 centimeter, for example. And then we would like to make sure the orientation is set to portrait. The next thing we want is to prepare 3 divisions for the document. That is the cover page, the informative page, and the main text area using section break. Okay, I would try to break it into a few. Break it. Okay, this is the cover page. And this is the informative page. And this is the main text area. The next thing we want to make sure is the setup for page number. Double click on the header. Then we want to uncheck same as previous by clicking on link to previous, and on the text area uncheck link to previous, so that there is no linkage between previous link. We do not want page number in the cover page. The informative page we set at the top right corner Roman style, while the main text area, the page number, is set at top right corner style Arabic. Okay, let's try it. This is top right, and okay, we set it as right click, page format, okay, style Romans, done, and we'll get into this part, page number, top right, and you can see I want it to be starting for the new number, which is 1, and then the style is Arabic number 1, 2, 3. Now we got two different style of page number, Romans and Arabic. Okay, now we are ready with the 3 divisions. In the main text, we need to set the text style as normal. Main text, double click in the main text, normal, right hand click on the normal, modify it. You can see we want to check it into Times New Romans, size 12, justified, spacing 1.5, done. Okay, and then we want to set the heading and subheadings. It is not advisable to apply too many layers or levels of headings and subheadings. 3 to 4 levels is sufficient for most documents. Let's try it. The headings, let's say we put headings, right hand click, then we could change into the style Times New Romans, bold, and justified, and then automatics. That's it. Then we can set heading 2 as Times New Romans, bold, color, automatic, justify, and 1.5 spacing. And heading 3, right hand click on heading 3, you could set it into Times New Romans, size 12, and bold, automatics, justify, and single spacing. We are prepared for the headings. Let's construct the document structure and then sample paragraph in the main text. For example, heading 1 would be introduction. Okay. And then heading 2 will be scenario. For example, scenario. Okay, another heading 1 is in problem statements. As we type in, we could see the heading is actually displayed in the navigation pane. Alright, we have one mistake here. It should be normal, and this should be normal, and this one should be normal, and this one should be normal. So our text is ready to further input the text. Let's try a few words. This is a testing of paragraph, for example, right? And you can type as much as possible. And this is a paragraph. It's justified. You can see it. Okay. For quick demonstration, I did a copy before. Let's switch to it. This is something that I created before. So we have the same combination, the cover page, the informative pages, and the main text area. The main text area, we have a number of headings and subheadings already organized, and some paragraphs have been inputted. So let's try to insert some figures. For example, let's say I want to insert pictures. Figure 1, for example, we have figure 1, right? Then we want to set the figure as the captions. The captions, where is the captions? Insert caption, reference, captions, figure 1. This is the first figure, for example. Then we want to set it into the center. We can put it in the center. And the style for figure, we could check on caption. Right hand click and modify it. We want to keep it consistent for all captions. Times New Roman, size 12, bold, and no italics, automatic, center, spacing 1.5. Good enough. The next thing we might want to do cross-reference, which is somewhere here. Cross-reference in the main text figures. I'm interested at label and numbers. That's it. Then we have figures. Look at that. Of course, we can put in a number of pictures, for example. Second figures. Of course. And then we could cross-reference and in the main text. Perfect. The table could be inserted as follow. Insert table. Let's say table 1. We have a table 1, and we want to set a table on top. We could use captions, select tables, and then automatics. First table. Okay, table, we set it in the center. Done. And then we could insert the second table if you want. Second table. And the cross-reference, we could use cross-reference, select tables, and we are only interested in label and number. Select the corresponding table that we want to cross-reference. Okay, insert, done. Done. There's another mistake that I want to advise, that is normally student tends to ignore the file size of the inserted pictures, especially high definition photos normally taken during experiment and work procedures using a camera or high definition cameras. There tends to be 1 megabyte or 10 megabyte per pictures. It is wise to compress them into printable or web display quality with much lower requirement for storage. I would demonstrate here. Let's say we insert a high definition photos, for example this one, a photo. Okay, of course you can resize it or crop it, resize it into height of 6, for example. Yep, good enough. And then we put it into the center. Right, this is another figure, so we could add in the captions. Right, select figure, done, figure 3, HD picture. Of course, this picture carries 10 megs, and we could resize it into a lower resolution by compressing it. Double click on the picture, you could see complex pictures over here. Click complex pictures. We select only the lower quality resolution. I will select print with 220 ppi, excellent quality for most printer and screens. Of course, the lower quality resolution could be selected. Okay, once I choose it, the resolution will be lower. Another common mistake is due to cut and paste a paragraph. Here I would demonstrate the way I rectify it. There are 2 ways to rectify format difference due to cut and paste. First, we could copy but paste options as keep text only. Secondly, we could copy and paste as it is, but the format is recovered later using Format Painter. I will demonstrate here. Let's say we would like to copy one paragraph and I'll paste it as text only. Secondly, I will paste it as it was. Look at here, the different formats. I could rectify it by copy the format and then rectify the format. Done. Lastly, of course, we have prepared all the heading and subheadings. It's ready that we could generate the table of content, table of figures and table of tables in the informative pages. Let's get into the informative pages. This is the informative pages. Cover page, informative pages. Let's say we want to create a table of content here. Then we are ready to create a table of content by clicking on reference, table of content, and then choose a format. Let's say I would like to have the first format. The table of content is automatically created. Of course, it could be automatically updated once we change any subheadings or headings in the text area. Of course, we are able to insert the table of figures as well. Insert table of figures, then could choose table of figures, table of content, and table of course. Right, let's say we would like to insert table figures. Could choose figures. Of course, we can choose to insert table of tables by selecting tables. This generation of tables are possible if we use headings and subheadings, and figures we have used caption and cross-reference. Otherwise, it is impossible to create the tables automatically. This is the end of part 2. In the next video, I will demonstrate my usual practice on using Mendeley in MsWord for citations and references. Thank you for listening.